What's going on YouTube? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Minicon Deployers Overlord with Backtrack. And this is the first of the deployers that features the new Minicon form. You might remember that the old Minicon forms were either a disc or a missile, or I should say a UFO or a missile. This has them being a sphere. So let's open them up and take a look. Out of the box, Overlord is a very blue figure, as you can see, modeled in sky blue, silver, red, orange highlights, and what I would like to call charcoal. He's a very sturdy figure, and what I mean by that is he has virtually no posability. He has posability in the arms, that's it. No head posability, no leg posability, no other posability whatsoever. And in the back, you could see that the figure is pretty much hollow everywhere. I mean, the inside of the arms are hollow, the back of the figure is hollow, the legs are all hollow. It does not feel good. It is not a very solid feeling figure. In fact, the figure feels incredibly cheap and very poorly put together. All of the joints are loose. The ball joints here in the shoulders are loose. The leg joints here that are on pins are loose. It's not a very good feeling figure at all. I do like the overall look of the figure. It is a very small figure as well. This is Warrior Class Fracture. He's the same size as Overlord. I would much rather have a Warrior Class version of this that has a more interesting transformation and no gimmick than what we ended up with. I think it could be a much better figure. I do like the head sculpt. The head sculpt is really, really gruff and tough looking. The face sculpt is good, and I like the giant crest there on his head. Kind of reminds me of Gundam Sandrock from Gundam Wing a little bit. In robot mode, you cannot use the launching gimmick unlike the other deployers, but you can just kind of plop the deployer gimmick here on the back so you could store any of the round or spherical minicons on his back. So I guess you could give him a Minicon backpack, and there's no way to actually activate the launcher gimmick in this mode either, so you can't even just shoot it straight from his back. The launcher gimmick is right here in this little hole where I can't put my fingers in, and there's no switch to activate the gimmick either, which is a shame. Overlord's transformation is incredibly simple. To start off with, just take the arms and put them out to the side, take the cannon he has in robot mode and turn it all the way out. So keeping those out, spread the legs a little bit, and take the launcher gimmick and fold it up between the legs like that. Then take the collar around the head and pull it up over the head. Grab the entire chest section and unpeg it from the shoulders and fold it up above the crotch and down and peg it into place. Then you could take the legs and just straighten them at the knees so that they're kind of haunched, like he's going for a squat. Take the arms and turn them so that the outside of the shoulders is pointing forward, and bring them in to peg into these little pegs just on the outside of the legs. So just kind of get them in place, peg them in, and snap them together. And this is actually a point where the hollowness of the pieces actually really does make pain point for me, because when trying to snap these in, the plastic warps just from the base of my strong manly hands, which they're really not that strong, and it warps the plastic. So for his left arm, once you got it pegged into place, grab the cannon here and slide that down into that peg hole, and this will activate the gimmick, which actually doesn't activate all the time. I'll talk about that later. Next, take the rear of the legs and unfold them so that they unpeg and fold out and peg down onto the feet. So we'll do that here on the other side. So unaccordion them like that, and then fold them back, and they will peg in on these little pegs inside the shoulders. They don't peg in very tightly, so just be aware of that. And here we have Overlord's tank mode, which it's all right. It's not great. I would much rather see what a warrior class figure could do with the tank mode, but it's okay. It works all right. The minicons do peg in front here, so you have this minicon launcher gimmick that doesn't actually work. I've gotten this gimmick to work once. So you're supposed to push down this little peg right here on the cannon, and it's supposed to launch the ball via this piece right here, which will push out. Doesn't work. Flat out doesn't work. No lining up, nothing I do to get this thing lined up or set up correctly actually gets the gimmick to work right. So there's that. So what's the point of having a deployer whose deploying gimmick flat out does not work? Next, we're going to take a look at Backtrack, Overlord's Minicon partner. He's a sphere. Backtrack transforms by taking the arms here on the sides and folding them up, and then grabbing the legs and fold them down to reveal the robot head. And you get this spherical little dude who... this is so lazy. I do not like this guy. I mean, Unicron had a spherical Minicon partner, and that little dude was so much better than this. He does have some articulation. He can put his hands forward, and that's it. Yeah, I don't particularly care for him at all. Now, I did have him slightly mistransformed. The arms are able to fold out a little more, but even adding his Minicon glowing energon parts, it doesn't look any better, in all honesty. I think it actually looks a little worse. He's definitely more armored up, but that's not necessarily better. He also has jump jets for some reason. So just collapsing him down into his ball mode, or sphere mode, or whatever you want to call it, you get this attempt at a little ball of mass destruction. I'm not sure what this reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of the balls from Gundam, but it also reminds me of something else, but I can't place what. Anyway, it's not that good. Even armored up, he can fit into Overlord's vehicle mode with no problems. It kind of looks like a disturbing mechanical gun-wielding baby for some reason. I don't know why. Just, ugh. At the end of the day, Overlord and Backtrack are not really all that good. If you find them and you have to have them, go ahead and get them, but just be wary that they're not much fun at all. And honestly, I don't think this deployers line is working. Hopefully we're not going to get any more of these figures. I really don't care for the deployers gimmick. Thankfully, it does look like Hasbro is moving away from these Minicons and replacing them with little energon bits that fit over a kind of a Classics Legends class figure. So those are actually on the way to me at the time of this review, so I will review those for you guys as soon as I get them. So gang, I hope you have enjoyed this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix. I see you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.